So hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. And on tonight's video we're actually just on our last ride, where I give you my final thoughts on the Triumph Tiger 850 Sport. So stick around, stay tuned, be right back. Okay, so first of all, if anyone watched my last video, I apologise for the sound. The microphone had actually dislodged and moved within my helmet, so the sound was pretty crap on the start of that video. It's all sorted now, so apologies for that first of all. Secondly, it was a lovely evening till it started spitting with rain, so if you get any water droplets on the camera as we're going along on our last ride, then apologies again for that too. So enough of the apologies, let's get started. So I mentioned that the 850 Sport might have been aimed at the beginner adventure market, because you can put an A2 license on this and a restrictor kit, but it turns out that the 900 range as well, you can do that on all of them. So you can take your pick really, but I think this one was aimed just to keep the price down, with it not having any adjustability on the suspension other than preload on the rear. And when you look at the pricing of the bikes, so you've got the 850 Sport, you've got the 900 GT and the GT Pro, and then you've got the Rally and the Rally Pro in the lineup. So there's the pricing, you can see that. And if you go onto the Triumph website, you can see the full spec and the differences between them. I think my main gripe with this bike, the negatives, what are they? So on the bike there's no cruise control. Now when I went on the last ride and did the north to south Lake District, I went up the motorway for an hour and I was slightly disappointed not having cruise control. It would have been nice, but it's not a game changer. Would I still buy this bike? Yes, I would. The throttle action, and it's a very light throttle with it being ride-by-wire anyway, so there's no big spring putting pressure on your wrist if you're on motorways for hours on end. So the other negative I would put on this bike probably is the front suspension with having no adjustability. So I'm about 90 kilo and 6'2". Ergonomics of the bike for me are pretty good. I think if I was to have the suspension set up professionally, the front might not be good enough for the 90 kilos. So the other negative is the screen, and I mentioned this also on the Street Triple RS, which it seems to be the same screen, 5-inch screen. There's two negatives with it. One, I'm actually looking at the sky through the screen, so reflectivity and you know, it's actually a bit marred by that. Now I know on the Street Triple RS that I had, you could adjust the angle of the screen, so it would have been nice, Triumph, if you'd have put the angle mod on this one too, so you could just angle it down so I wasn't staring at the sky. And on a sunny day, while the screen is very visible, the reflective glossiness of the screen is slightly annoying. Now I know you can get a screen protector, a matte one, from somebody like Speedo Angels. There's a link in the description below. They do them for all motorcycles, so go and check them out. And also there's a discount code MotoUK down in the description below. So yeah, so on the screen you've got the tachometer, which is really difficult to see. I'm not a lover of that. So there's three things that you want on a screen. One is what speed you're doing, the other is the RPM of the engine, and the other one is the fuel gauge, and I would say a fourth being the temperature of the engine. All the other stuff is irrelevant, and if it's on there and clear, it's a bonus. So yeah, no cruise control, but you do get that on the 900 versions, on the GT and the GT Pro, and also on the Rally and Rally Pro. Other than that, the likes, I like that the bike is super comfy. Ergonomics are great, even 2 up. I like the mirrors, you can see clearly behind you and not my elbows. The throttle action is absolutely superb on this bike. So the headlights are good. I took it out the other night to the shops and was pleasantly surprised with those. The screen, I'm 6'2", and on the tall position I don't get much buffeting around my helmet, but as you can see I'm doing about 56, 57 now, and there's a little bit of wind noise just at the top corners of my helmet, but on the body and the chest there's no pressure, so screen's doing its job. The other thing I like about this is the side stand. Now the side stand is easy to get at, and it's a really big side stand as well, so it's reassuring to be able to access that easy on a lot of bikes these days. They're kind of fiddly and hard to get to. The tyres on this bike, I was a little bit unsure at first, with them being 80% road, 20% off-road, and there are the Anarchy tyres, but I'm really impressed how sticky they are in the dry, and also if we get much more rain I'll find out what they're like in the wet. And as you can see from the video where I took this bike off-road on my first ride, I was pleasantly surprised also with the suspension and the tyre and the wheel size setup, how it handled the rocky patches and things. So you can do off-road on this, but if you were going to do off-road a lot, then I would definitely go for the Rally or the Rally Pro. The engine on this bike, now it's a 888cc, and I've mentioned already that it's the same 888cc that's in the 900 versions, so it's just down about 10 horsepower and about 5 newton meters of torque on the 900 versions. Would you really notice it between 10 horsepower and 5 newton meters of torque? Maybe a little, but I very much doubt it. So pretty much same power or similar power as each of the versions that come out. One thing I did mention wrong, and that was the firing order. I said 312 and I believe it's 132, and that will give you like a twin sound through the exhaust, so you've still got that whistle of the triple engine, which is nice. Do you need much more power than the 888cc for the road and off-road? I don't think you do. I think this is a perfect bike, and it's really priced well. I think if you were looking for an adventure bike, recommend go down your local Triumph dealer and take one for a test drive. And if there was something that I didn't like about it, I'd certainly tell you. But it's a very refined motorcycle. Yeah, I've enjoyed my week with it, and I'll be sad to see this one go back tomorrow. So what's coming up on the channel in the next few weeks? Well, there'll be some more videos on my own Yamaha MT-10 SP, and I'm having a couple of weeks breaks before we get another Triumph delivered, which will be the Rocket 3 GT, and I'll actually be taking the Rocket 3 GT down to the MCN festival. So if you're going to that, keep an eye out. I'll be down that way. So one of the things I forgot to mention was the seat adjustment and the height. So that's in the 830mm high position, and it'll go all the way down to 810mm. So for the shorter rider, it's quite good. So the 900 GT, there's also a GT low, so there's an extra low seat as well version available, and I see Triumph doing that on some of their bikes just recently, which is great actually. Right, let's get back on the bike, and we'll head off, try and dodge the rain showers. Now, one of the other things that I didn't mention is that the screen on the GT and GT Pro and the Rally and Rally Pro is actually a 7-inch screen, so a little bit more screen display, and also the colours, so you can get this in the grey and blue like you've seen, or you can get it in the grey and red. So that's your colour options for now. Now, while I was just having a good look round the bike and just about to get on the bike, I actually looked down where the headlight LED heat sinks are, and just on the frame there you've got a little lift up socket. This is so you can put a sat-nav on the bike, so that's really handy. I don't know if you can see that. I did wonder whether it had a USB up the front. Normally the Triumphs have got them underneath the seat, but that's really good. So, colours on the bike, you've actually got the red and grey, I think it's graphite grey, or the blue and graphite grey that you have on the bike I'm on just now, and that's on the 850 Sport, and then on the 900 GT, GT Pro, and also the Rally and Rally Pro, you have a white, a red bike, and then a black graphite version that's available. So those are the 3 colours on the 900, and then you're limited to the 2 colours on the 850 Sport. Fuel economy is really good on this bike. Can't fault it whatsoever. Getting some good gas mileage, and you'll get plenty of fuel miles to a tank on this thing. So all in all, yeah, I'm very pleased with the Tiger 850 Sport. So if you go up to the 900 GT, okay, there's a price hike, but you get a lot more for that. You'll get the adjustable suspension, 7-inch screen, you'll get cruise control, and if you go up to the GT Pro, you also get other things, including an up and down quick shifter. Not that it needs one actually, so I've been happy using the clutch, old school style, and it's a super light clutch, easy to use and fully adjustable, which is great. So we'll just head back before the heavens open now. Thanks again for sticking with us and watching the videos, guys. Appreciate it if you can hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Like I say, we've got some ride outs on the MT-10 SP from Yamaha coming up, and then we've got the Triumph Rocket 3 GT, which will be heading down to the MCN Festival. So if you're down there and you spot me, it'd be nice if you say hello. Other than that, have a great week ahead, guys, and hope you've had a great weekend, and I'll catch you on another video. Cheers, guys.